palace. You got a temple of earth. Hey, you also have a temple of heaven. This is where the emperor and his minions came to pray for good harvest. This is the hall of prayer for good harvests. Behind me, they sat down, they prayed. They said, hey God, please give me a good harvest. And over here is where they made some divine sacrifices. Now, if they were meat eaters, they sacrificed pigs, cows, sometimes chicken, duck, depends. They stir-fried it with oyster sauces, sometimes with session spicy sauces. If they're vegetarian, a plate of kale, maybe a plate of stir-fried mushrooms would be enough to sacrifice, so the gods would bestow bounty upon them and allow further plentiful harvests. You got two solstices. 1, 2. Summer solstice, winter solstice. Winter time, cold, crops not so good, need to pray for good harvests. You come to the temple of heaven. Summer solstice, hey, it's warm, it's great. Hey, if you want to say, hey, earth, replenish yourself so that when I pray in winter, we'll have a great harvest. That's when you go to the temple of earth, which is a bit north of here. I can't get enough of the Chinese temples. Each one offers its own unique character. A bit like the different regions of China have their own regional cuisines, each of these temples has its own little regional flavor. You know, you want a temple for the summer, you go to one. You want a temple for springtime, you hit another one. Like discos in a big metropolitan city.
In a country as old as China, you're bound to see a contrast between the old and the new. Temples that were constructed in the 1400s juxtaposed against modern Beijing, which you can see behind me. Stadiums, factories, hotels, fish markets. I'm standing in the circular mound at the Temple of Heaven. Concentric circles like the sun surround me. Multiples of 9, 18. Then you have 27, 36. People want to stand in the center, supposedly because their voices boom sonorously into the stratosphere. You can issue commands. Sit! People 10 miles away will hear and sit down. Your voice an assertive command. The emperor used to stand there, lend his voice a degree of authority. If you have a high-pitched voice, talk like this, hi! Like Michael Jackson, you stand there in the center, people suddenly respect you. It's amazing.
So many different parts of the Temple of Heaven. There's the mounds, and then there's echo chambers, and then there's west annexes and east annexes, and then there's beautiful roads like this where the emperor could ride around his bicycle. Sometimes when the emperor's craving street food, he'd have his little minions set up food carts here. He wouldn't have to pay for anything. They get the food for free. He wanted to have an acrobatic show, dance show, strippers. They did it right here. It's perfect. Very wide. You could accommodate thousands of people. He gets front row center. No problem there. Banquets could be held here. He could have orgies here. Really quite a versatile walkway. The Christians never got here and colonized it like they did Korea, but the Chinese still have a spirit, patriotism, inclusiveness, innovation, virtue. And on a Sunday, they gather in the park and they chant communist folk songs, praising their leaders, praising the government, life, family. Listen to that. It's infectious.